Hey y'all, it's your girl Tiffany, and this is Quoted by Tiff. Hey guys, I hope you have been doing well this week. On this week's episode of Quoted by Tiff, I'm going to be talking about family trauma. Yeah, family trauma. And this is a topic that's very taboo. A lot of people don't like to talk about the things that make them behave the way that they're behaving. Sometimes the things that we go through in childhood, it leaves a very profound mark on us, and it gives us this sort of defense mechanism, ways that we act to make sure that we don't get hurt, or ways that we act as a result of how we were treated when we were younger. So, I'm going to talk about a few of my own experiences briefly. I'm also going to talk about some things that I do that are helping me heal from those things that hurt me as a child and those things that were holding me back from being my true authentic self. So I hope that someone out there can get something out of what I'm saying. And yeah, the whole goal is to heal. We all want to reach the next level in our lives. We all want to reach our purpose. And a part of us reaching our purpose is learning about the things that we may be holding on to unconsciously that we don't realize, right? Okay, so without further ado, let's get started, y'all. Yeah. Our childhood wounds sometimes hold us back from doing the things that we know are right for us to do. A lot of people in life are looking for their purpose. Why am I here? What's the point of all of this? What's the point of living? Personally, I feel like we are here to enrich each other's lives. We are here to teach each other what we know. That's why everybody doesn't have the same set of knowledge. You may meet one person that knows one thing, and then you may meet another person that knows another thing. It's our job to exchange ideas and learn from each other. But the thing is, sometimes people are not open enough to learn. Or we have people in the world that think they know everything. It just all depends. And when it comes to childhood trauma, I would say the number one thing when I talk to people, my friends, or just people in general, the number one common denominator is people not feeling like they were heard or understood, me included. I am a very different type of person. I'm a very free spirit, eccentric person. And I think that my mom did not understand that. And that's because when you have these generations coming from traditional type of situations, and then you get this child that's eccentric, that's spiritual, that's like just free spirit out of the box, you don't know what to do with that child because you were not raised like that. And I felt like growing up, I could not be who I wanted to be. I could not say what I wanted to say. I could not pursue what I wanted to pursue because I was being held back by my parents or the people in my family. You know, if you are a person in a family and they think one way and you are that one-off person that thinks another type of way, they're going to all go against you because why do you got to be different? Why you can't be like everybody else? Well, I have a message. Everybody's not the same. Even your children are not the same. I have more than one child. I have one child that's one way and another child that has a totally different personality. You have to raise your children from who they are, from their level, from their standpoint. You can't raise them how you want to raise them. You have to raise them how they need to be raised. So I have one child that's very shy, quiet. She's not going to be forthcoming and telling me things. I'm going to have to go to her and ask her, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? Hey, this." Then I have another child that's very open. He's going to say whatever. Whatever the first thing come to his mind, he going to knock on my door and he going to tell me, and no matter what time it is. Two very different personalities. So I have to parent them in two very different ways. One child, I don't have to go to them. They come to me. The other child, I have to go to them. You have to learn how to parent your children to the point of where they are and not where you think or how you think they should be. Every child is different. Every person is different. And Sometimes our childhood wounds stem from our parents not allowing us the space to be who we are. And that's very important in childhood development. In order to heal from childhood wounds, you really do have to start from square one. You have to think all the way back to your childhood. So I'm going to give you an example. How I am now, more open, more self expressive, more willing to try new things, more willing to just be myself, be authentic. I was not always like that. I went through my whole life up until about age 30. I went through my whole life trying to please other people, trying to make sure my personality aligned with them instead of just being myself and allowing people to come into my life that are resonant with who I am. And that stemmed back from childhood when I would try to speak up. There were times in my childhood where I do remember speaking up. So I remember my mom would say, "Oh, I own everything in here, the couches, I even own y'all." And I remember I spoke up. I said, "Well, technically you don't own us because that would be slavery." That's the type of child I was. That's the type of child I was. I was self-expressive, but as soon as I would express myself, somebody would knock me back down like, "No, you don't need to say that. That's grown. That's talking back." But that's not talking back. That's a child being self-expressive, using their critical thinking skills. That's all that is. And I think sometimes adults can't stand when children outsmart them. So when a child outsmarts an adults, their ego starts popping in and they start feeling some type of way like, "Oh, you're talking back to me, or you being smart, or you being fresh," when all you're doing is stating the facts. Children don't have a filter. So when a child says something, that's something that they mean. It's genuine. And I think sometimes adults forget that, or it's too many adults walking through this world that have forgotten about their inner child. So they think that they're too grown to learn things from a child, but that's absolutely not true. I learn from my children every single day. And I hope that it's helping them. I'm the type of parent that if they're right, if they tell me something and they're right, I'm going to say, "You know what? You're right." I did it earlier with my daughter. I said, "You know what? You're right." It's okay for a child to be right and you to be wrong as the adult. It's okay. And I think looking back in my childhood, I'm not saying my mom probably raised me the best way that she knew how. But at the end of the day, there were a lot of things that hurt me. She's never apologized for them, and she probably never will. And that's okay. That's okay. But you know why? Because I create my own closure. I'm able to apologize to myself. I'm able for making myself pay for something that an adult did in my childhood. There are always things to learn. And I feel like as adults, we have to put ourselves in these children's shoes and think about, how would I feel if somebody said this or did this to me? Some of the ways that I heal personally, if you guys are looking for some tips, I try to be nice to myself. Just because you're an adult, that does not mean that you need to do everything right and perfect all the time. Nobody is perfect. So you shouldn't set that expectation for yourself, and you definitely should not set that expectation for your children. They need to know that people are not perfect. And I wholeheartedly believe that. It's okay to be wrong, it's okay to mess up. It's not the end of the world. So you have to be nice to yourself. If you're going to heal, you have to learn to be kind to yourself. Another way I heal is this may sound silly, but I do things that I used to do when I was a child, or I watch things that I used to watch when I was a child, like cartoons, or I'll draw a picture, or I'll write a poem, or you will be surprised how those little things are helping heal pieces of your inner child. And another thing that I do, and this is probably one of the most beneficial things that I do, is to just live. Sometimes as an adult, with all these bills, with all these responsibilities, you forget to live. You get so caught on the hamster wheel of going to work, paying bills, making sure everything is straight. It's okay to be a little messy. It's okay. Life is not perfect. Life is messy. And it's okay for you to sit in that mess for a minute and think. And I think sometimes as adults we want to compartmentalize everything, and you don't have to do that. Just live your life the best way you can. Don't try to be like anybody else. Don't try to do the things that other people are doing. Do the things that make you happy. And you will be well on your way to healing those childhood wounds, okay? All right, y'all. Okay. So I hope you guys took something from this show. And I pray that each and every one of y'all that are listening, that are watching, I pray that you guys are able to heal your childhood wounds and really be happy in your life. Okay? All right. I love y'all. And until next week, bye.